because I don't think of myself as someone that is aggressive. I'm a very pacifist, but when it comes to dancing, I would like to see myself winning.
Ooh. Yeah.
You
Cool.
get crunk with it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll throw up a clip or something.
Yeah.
Find one.
But I've been outside getting money, I'm on my thug again. Tryna stack a little dub, tryna catch a win. And next time I drop a coupe, it's gonna be a twin turbo. Always been a G, but I ain't never been a herb though. When I'm switching lanes, they should call a nigga swervo.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Millennial Mentality Podcast. I am your host, Nick Agnelli, here with my co-host, Peter Price.
Yep.
And today our guest, Jimmy Ortiz.
Yes, sir.
I am incredibly excited for this episode. I didn't want to hype you up too much before, make you a little nervous, but Pete has spoken so highly of you, Jimmy.
Oh, that's cute.
And,
Jimbo is my dog.
And from every aspect, a great worker, great friend, just a fucking good person.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'm really, really happy for this discussion we're going to have and talk about life. Thank you guys for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. Continue to tell your friends and family, co-workers, anyone you know about it. If you get anything out of it, as our only fee we ask for you, just try to spread our name. If you get a laugh or a cry or words of wisdom or inspiration, whatever the fuck it is, just we ask you to do that if you could. And yeah, guys, a few notes. We were recently on the MSCS Media podcast with Tommy. Shout out Tommy. And that was a really awesome podcast. He's one of 9 Spotify exclusive podcast members, and he's just a really awesome guy. Really great team and setup there. So that's coming out. This comes out on Monday. That would be coming out last Friday. So it's going to be out at this point, and we'd love that, guys. Pete and I really talk about our whole story there.
We went for 3 hours.
3 fucking hours we talked,
It was a doozy.
and it was a really awesome time. So if you kind of want to hear a little bit more of Pete and I and our whole entire story from start to finish, you guys could listen there. Last thing, guys, Pete and I are doing 75 Hard starting July 26th.
Wow.
And so
Jump on board, Jimbo.
I did 75 Hard from middle of March this year, and I completed it about 3 weeks ago, and it really changed my life. Pete did his version of 75 Soft during that same time,
Nice.
and it's really made a wave in his life.
Yeah.
I've had people do versions of theirs in that time, and it's really changed their life. And I'm not going to start a cult here, guys. I'm not trying to force you to do anything, but if you're
But
in
drink the Kool-Aid.
But if you're in a shitty position in life and you want to make some changes and you feel like this is the world telling you to push yourself for more, or you're doing great and you just really want to continue down that great path. I'm pretty comfortable right now in my body and the changes I've made.
Level up.
With that being said, it's like fucking gas down, man. I'm all in. So if you guys want a support group through that, or you guys want to jump on, let us know. We're going to be starting that July 26th. So to you, Jimmy. Again, I've heard so many great things about you. In your character.
I will not be doing 75 hard. I'm sorry.
Pussy. But from what I understand, you're just a really unique and driven person that you feel blessed in life, and that you're thankful and you have gratitude. And from what I heard from Pete, really the pinnacle of your story is your battle of cancer and how you beat that and how you grew through that, and the support you had behind that and the love you had with that. And if anything, I kind of want to start with that and then kind of show all the building blocks through your life it's affected after the fact,
Yeah.
So kind of from start, right, to kind of chop it here, what was it like getting that news for the first time that you were dealt with cancer?
Cool. So I was, a little history, so you can kind of get the context. I got it from a surprise. I went to the emergency room. I was sick for a while, as in, like, I couldn't breathe. I work out regularly, so, like, I was doing cardio, and there was one day where I was on the Stairmaster, and I couldn't finish 10 minutes. And then, which is not normal for me.
When you say couldn't breathe, was it like describe it to me as like
I thought it was COVID.
Okay.
And I was wearing the mask at work when I was working at Kachina's, and I couldn't breathe throughout my shifts. I was gonna have a lot of shortness of breath. And then on top of that, I started having really bad pains on my back, like as if I pulled a muscle. So I could have sworn I must have had COVID. My girlfriend kept nagging me to go get it checked out, but I'm a guy, like I don't want to find out what's wrong with the check engine light, and then I find out it's like a big expense. And I wanted to avoid it.
I was the same way. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, you know, I got like lightly sick a few times during COVID when it first started, and I was like, "It is what it is." You know?
Yeah. But I didn't think anything of it. And I went to the emergency room, and the doctor scanned my chest because I was telling him about how I was having trouble breathing, and they found a bunch of lesions in my chest. And then the doctor was like, "Okay, drop your pants." You know, that was kind of weird. And he felt my testicle, and there was a bump. I didn't realize it beforehand either. And, you know, at that point, he just looks at me, and he's just like, "That's not right." And I just look at him, I'm like, fuck, like, what does that mean? Like, I didn't even know what cancer was, like, testicular cancer was, or what could happen. I didn't even know if that was what it was. I thought maybe it was, like, a tumor or a bump, which it was a tumor. I have no idea. So I kind of went through, like, a panic mode. I went silent, dead silent. He said, "All right, you're going to have to go get an ultrasound. And then we're going to test your blood." So I'm there at like, I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And he finally comes in after I get all my tests done, and he says, "You have cancer, and there's going to be a risk for your life, and you're going to have to go through chemo, and your life's going to be very different." It was very...
What was that emotion?
I thought I was going to die. Mm-hmm. I kind of felt it, you know?
Wow.
Obviously, I was wrong. Looking back at it.
How much time had elapsed from, like, the moment that you got to the hospital till you got that news?
It felt like I was there forever.
Yeah.
I felt like my body was, like, deteriorating even during that time. But it was only, like, a couple hours.
What was, like, the stomach drop moment when he looked at you and he said, "We got to get more tests done"?
Again, I did not want to know what was under the hood.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to know any news.
Yeah.
I didn't want to believe it was real. I felt like I was dreaming. It felt like a movie. But at the same time, all I could do at that time was just like pray.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like there's nothing I can do. Help me.
Yeah. Did you ask at that point when he said you're going to be fighting for your life? Did you ask that question of like what percentage you got, Doc?
I had so much trauma at the moment. I was really quiet the most of the time. I didn't ask a lot of the questions. And I was really like emotional too, because this is what happened. Once I found out, the first thing you do is, okay, I got to tell someone. Call my parents, and you don't want to have that conversation with your parents, and then you have to call your close friend. And what was weird is that it kind of spread like really fast. Like everyone that like, I don't know, not everyone, but a lot of people just started calling me. And like that was the hardest part.
People love you.
Yeah.
I
can go on and on about how blessed I am and the support I got. But
so they start calling you, and then what?
It was weird. They were calling me as if like it's my last time I'm going to be alive. And it's like hard to take that in, you know? And I just still don't know the full news, you know? That was just it could be the rest of my life, and I don't know all these things. But everyone things they start telling me is like, are you saved? Are you going to heaven? How are your finances looking? You know, you're going to have a lot of debt. Don't pay the bills. Like everyone and their mother's giving me advice, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know.
I'm numb. Yeah,
like
at that point.
Yeah, I had like nothing to say. Like you can ask the people that like saw me at the hospital at that time. Like I was just kind of like out of it. I was not in the present moment.
What more surreal news can you get in the world?
Yeah.
That you're at risk for your life.
Yeah.
And Pete's been dealing with a little bit of health problems lately, with a little bit of a headache in his head. And last year I went to the hospital, got blood done, and they said, you got to go get checked for your liver like tomorrow. And that feeling when they look at you and they're like, you know, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
That stomach drop feeling, and you're like, my health is at question right now, and you don't really get it until you're there, you know. And so you're at that point, right? What is your morale at that point? Like, what is, after the delusionalness of like the situation, the numbness kind of faded out, what was that kind of next, energy that came from you?
The only thing that kept me like happy was like the support and friends.
Yeah. Y'all hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah.
Like it was. I got really close to my family.
Yeah.
My girlfriend was like an angel.
Yeah.
I remember telling her, like, when I first found out, I told her, you don't have to be with me. Like, you don't have to go through this. Like, but she was there as much as she could be, and she did everything for me. She took care of me. Like a lot of people stepped up and took care of me emotionally. I'd never had a time in the hospital where I was alone, other than nighttime when they had to kick everyone out. And I tell you this, it's like really strict during this time because of COVID. They only had one visitor, but the nurses made exceptions. There was a lot of times I had 2, 3. They would get so mad at me, but I had so much love.
Yeah.
Like, the whole time I was there for 3 weeks total, because I did my first round of chemo there. And I had people lined up every day, full schedule. I kind of get exhausting. And what's weird is that, like, I think this is common for a lot of people nowadays, is that people like to isolate themselves and feel as if people don't care about them. I'm that person. Mm-hmm. When I first found out, I didn't know who to tell. The first thing I thought was like my mom and dad. But like, then I realized looking back, so many people cared. Mm-hmm. So I can go on and on, but it changed my life.
Please, I got chills, man.
Yeah.
And I'll make, again, just one more note on it, guys. Be the person who gives the call regardless, even if the person's in a bad space or they're hurting, just to say, yo, I'm here. I'm going to get off the phone now, but I love you. Bye. You know, and those little things add up to a morale. You know, I couldn't imagine that feeling of like the numbness wearing off and you're like, okay, I got to deal with this now. And then that's another numbness that comes. And then you're like, okay, well, then I could still die. So am I going to fight this? Or am I, you know, I'm sure a million thoughts go through your head.
Yeah.
What was the point where you put your feet in the sand and said, I'm going to fight this bitch?
I think, well, the biggest turning point was after, I think, 3 or 4 days, the doctor finally visited me, the specialist, and he told me that I was going to survive. It was his faith, Dr. Gerstein. He diagnosed me with the cancer. Don't quote me on the name. I shouldn't even say it because I don't have it in my notes, but it's a long one. But it's the one that's curable. There's a couple different types of testicular cancer. But he told me that it did spread to my back lymph nodes and my lungs, and it was stage 3, the highest one. So there was a big risk for my life. I had to go through, extensive chemo. But the fact that he had faith that I was going to survive put faith in me.
Do you think that was blind faith in retrospect?
Yeah, because, and this is some of the advice that I've learned from other people that had cancer that reached out to me, strangers. And their advice was, you never want to be able to take the advice for what it is. It's always either worse or better. They could tell you, hey, it's cured, but I can still get it. I have like a 2% chance that I can come back. It's been almost a year now. I have to the next 5 years where it's like a 2% chance, but I can still get it. Or I can get another type of cancer, or I'm prone to other ones, and so you gotta kind of take it with a grain of salt.
A little scientific for me, because now you're mentioning the lymph nodes and the lungs, and give me a little science behind that. Like, the cancer starts testicularly, so and then it grows up.
So this is actually very common for guys our age.
Okay.
Just as there's still a lot to be learned for testicular cancer, for this is what I've learned from my experience. It's common from 18 to 35, and there isn't necessarily a known cause other than people know that it can relate to people that have it in their family. Okay. So my uncle had it, and I had no idea. And so it starts in your balls, and then eventually over time it'll grow into your back lymph nodes, your lungs, then your chest, and then your brain. And then once it hits your brain, that's when it starts getting really bad. So that's how
you were like halfway up type, like it was going.
It was growing.
Yeah.
And that was the back pains. That was the lungs. Actually, I had a month before I actually found out, I had aches in my stomach. And I was telling my friends at work, and they told me I should get checked out. And I went to like a local fast ER check-in or whatever.
Mhm.
And they checked me out, checked my blood. She even checked my balls, and everything was fine.
Really?
It grew fast.
Oh yeah.
That's why they say every month for guys our age, check your balls, just like girls check
Their boobs, yeah.
for bumps. So
Wow.
Now, in the detail of the process of the chemo and of, now you get a better chance of fighting. The doctor's saying this positive news. What is that chemo process like?
So it was different for me because I'm a young guy. Most people, when they're older, they'll have treatment like once every month, twice a month. I had it 5 days in a row for like every 2 weeks. They split
Because your
it
body
up.
could handle it type thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the type of chemo I had. Other chemos are a lot stronger. So I had like 3 different types of chemos, and you get linked up like an IV, and you sit there for like however long it takes, like 3 hours, 4 hours.
And they shoot it in you?
Yeah, it's like IV.
I never knew what chemo really ever was. To be
Yeah.
honest. I don't. It's a term. I just never really even thought about it that way.
Yeah, my first round was at the hospital, and then my last 3 rounds were at a specialist place in Wellington. And that was really shocking. The people you meet are all in chemo.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are not going to make it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I had some really good conversations and made some really good relationships with people there.
Really?
Really.
There was girls there my age pregnant.
Really.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's. Could you imagine?
Crazy, man.
Now, you're fighting the chemo. What is your relationship with death at this point? I mean, is it something that you're not even thinking about? Is it something that you're battling internally? What is your relationship with death?
Well, I believe that there's life after death, and that it's more than that. So at the moment, it made me feel as if like a little peace, like I was, if it would have happened, it happens, and I hope that I leave off a good legacy, and now I look at death as you only live once, and you want to make sure you always have good relationships with people, no bad blood, always be the better person. I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That makes sense.
It puts life in perspective really fucking fast, And
Yeah,
it's
you
like-
don't expect to die young.
That's right,
Yeah.
and it makes you cherish the small things. It makes
Yeah.
you be kind because you never know when you're going to go to the hospital at 3 a.m. and get fucking diagnosed with cancer,
Yeah.
So it's like, this could be the last time I talk to my mom, or this, and these perspectives that start to get put with you regularly, that gratitude towards now in your life, the small things, it's not just a conversation. It's not just another year of a Father's Day or this. It's moments that you cherish, and if you knew that you were never going to get another moment like that again, you would view it differently, and I just feel your energy, Jim. It's like this, but I don't know if God, from my story in my life, is real. I know to be a good person, though. I know to love. I know to share love. I know to hold doors for women. I know the little things.
Yeah.
So some may say that is a perfect relationship with God. Some may say, well, he's an atheist. I don't really care. What I am saying is just be a good fucking person, and love life, and that the side effects of that are gonna work itself out, man. The last thing, and it just shows your character. When you went through this struggle, it's obviously on top of everything a financial burden as well.
Yeah.
And Pete had told me, when we were talking about your story on a synopsis, he's like, I know Jimmy had put up a GoFundMe and it had a certain amount, and he like 3x to that certain amount,
Yeah, it
or
was
something
to
crazy like
support.
that.
Kachina's put it up for me.
Yeah.
And they put it at $100,000, and it was really feeling because when I first got diagnosed, I didn't even think about the finances. I just thought about like I just want to be healthy. They even thought of like, I mean, for me, I come from humble beginnings. A 6-figure debt or anything like that would like ruin me. Like I don't know, so I'm scared of that, honestly. So when they put that up, I didn't even know. They just put it up for me, and the day after, it was up to like 30,000, and I didn't expect it at all. It was really weird. And then in a matter of a week, it was like at 50, 60, and I ended up getting up to like 90. But on top of that, Like, just people really took care of me.
Yeah, it was amazing to see,
yeah,
for sure.
it bought, like, there was 123 did an event for me. Kachinas did an event for me. My old church did an event for me. My old Outback did an event for me. A lot of people raised a lot of money for me, and that's not easy during
Without
these
you
times.
asking for anything.
No, not at all. I would never.
No, but that's me saying that.
Yeah.
Without you asking for anything.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's the definition of love, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it just makes my heart so happy. And you know, I know in today's day and age, there's so much, like, lost faith in humanity. But, my faith in humanity is there, man. There's a lot of good people. You know, your eyes these days are just pressed with so much negative energy that you look for the bad ones, but there's so much good in front of you. You just got to look around for it.
And I think that spoke to a lot to about, like, the kind of guy that you are, Jimmy, and, like, even before all this happened to you, you were already that guy, you know? You were already a really happy, like, grateful, at least, you know, the person that I got to interact with every day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, if there was anyone that I knew that deserved the support that you got and all the love that you got, like, dude, it was you, because you really genuinely are, like, such a good dude.
Thank you.
And I, you know, I love to hear, like, the outlook that you have coming out of this whole thing, but also I think it's worth saying, like, Jimmy was already a really good dude before this experience, you know?
Yeah, people my manager at Kachinas. Yeah. And
Jimmy, you're easily, like, one of the hardest working guys I ever worked with. Like, always had a smile on his face, always, yes, sir, whatever needed to be done. He was a fucking solid guy.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah.
I love gassing you up, Jimmy. You're too humble to take it, man.
Keep it up. I'm the most humble guy you ever met. Keep it up.
One of the last questions I got on the cancer is, you know, you say you're a religious person, you know, and that your faith in God really helped you with this experience. At any moment in the experience, did you question God?
Oh, yeah.
What was that like?
I was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, it's why me? Like, how could it be me? But he, like, painted a perfect picture.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm on a podcast telling you how I survived.
Sick.
And how all my finances are taken care of and more, and I'm flourishing.
Yeah.
I've never been in a better time in my life. I got a new career. Me and my relationship with my girlfriend are, like, thriving because of it. My family's relationship have been a whole new turn of leaf. It was a beautiful thing.
I'm going to ask you a hard question, Jimmy. If I have a watcher, listener right now whose brother, cousin, sister fought cancer and just passed from it, what would you say to them in their relationship with God right now?
So I often ask myself, why me? And then I had to realize that I had to ask myself, why not me? Because I'm just a number, you know, like, everyone dies one day. Someone's family member is going to die through cancer. So you can't look at it as, why me? You got to look at it as, why can't I get through this? And even you who just had a family member who just passed, you know, that was their time, and I'm sorry, but, you know, that's part of life. Yeah, you can't run from it. And I understand you can be very mad at God, and I don't blame you for being really mad at God or whatever you believe in, or your life or world, but, you know, it's part of life. Yeah, you got to learn to, like, accept that. Yeah. Because if you hold on to that, you're just going to ruin yourself. Yeah. You got to learn to grow through it.
And that would be the only thing, is, like, I've never been through an experience like that, so I don't know that weight. But all I know is that weight being on your shoulders is never going to bring you any light. You know, that's what I do know for a fact. If you carry that guilt or frustration or anger, you know, I hope time will heal maybe. I don't know what the remedy is for it, because I don't know that feeling. But I know that the weight and the bad things are just going to create issues for your life. You know, and I'm not saying it takes a day to get over it. It doesn't. But keep fighting, keep pushing, and then one day that weight will slowly not press as hard, you know?
Yeah.
So, Jimmy, you have this amazing help. You fight chemo. How long, one more time, of the fight process was that? About 6 months?
Yeah. Because I finished, I think, in October, and I started in, like, Don't quote me. March, I don't remember,
Right.
but yeah, it's all a blur. I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't keep track of time then. Like I was just kind of like in a different. Yeah.
What was the moment like when they walked in the room and they said, "Jimmy, you're cancer free"?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I was finishing my treatment, and like just like the doctor said, like after this treatment, you'll be good. Um, it didn't feel real. Felt like a movie.
Yeah.
It didn't feel fair, because I met all these people during chemo that, they're not leaving. But at the same time, this was my journey, and I was ready to just start life again.
Yeah. How quick was that rebound back into the real world?
I mean, I'm doing good now. It's
Yeah.
almost been a year, and I feel like I'm doing great, better than ever.
Yeah.
But it was a long process. The gym was hard.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of weight. I lost all my hair everywhere, even on my balls. One ball now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Turns out you only need one.
That's it.
Oh yeah. Everything
Yeah.
still works the same.
Same. There's a chance that if another person that had it, like you lose your testosterone, you lose your ability to have kids. But based on all my tests,
You're
everything
good to
came
go.
out. I got very blessed.
Awesome.
My man's gonna produce a lot of kids.
Yeah, when my uncle had it, he had his 2 daughters afterwards too.
Oh, yeah.
It's very common for the type that I have to still be able to have kids and your testosterone levels to be the same. So
Good.
yeah.
I'm gonna ask you like a weird question. Was there anyone that you found like wasn't not negative per se, but like very realistic? Like be realistic with it, or like brought you any type of negative energy or vibes?
When you're in that state, you have to stay positive.
Yeah.
Like everyone's advice to me was like, do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
Eat whatever makes you not throw up.
Yeah.
Watch funny movies. So I don't know. If they did, I didn't pay attention to it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
You have to stay positive. It's a mental. Like they think it's a physical journey. It's a mental
Mhm.
struggle.
Yeah, I'm sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Is there like a month or a color that represents testicular cancer?
I should find out.
You know how there's ribbons.
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
for-
It's usually a
for-
certain color ribbon.
I don't know.
Because we can put it up on the screen for the episode.
Yeah.
I'll do some research and put it on the screen.
So Jimmy, I want to get to a little bit more of like a what makes Jimmy part now. You
Okay.
know, and the cancer's done, killed. Fuck yes, Jimmy. I love you already.
Yep.
I'm so happy. Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer.
Sorry
Yep,
for all
fuck
that
cancer.
profanity. But yeah, screw that. And you're a fighter, man, and I'm so happy in your wisdom. How old are you?
I am just turned 27. Almost forgot.
At your age, man, that outlook you have on life, I think a lot of people could learn from. And
We had Jimbo merch at the time.
Yes,
Yeah,
he made me a
Jimmy
shirt.
it
t-shirts.
makes me so fired up.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. You don't meet many people like you in the world, and
Yeah.
and never
you.
change. So, Jimmy, word on the street. You see this? I heard you're a beat boy. You're a b-boy.
Yes.
Okay.
A beat boy?
You saw that Paul, the word on the street? Like they dance on the street. No?
That's a little bit of a stretch. I'll give it to you, though.
It's there.
It was smooth. It was good.
So tell me about it.
I'm an amateur,
Okay.
very amateur, but I'm a huge fan. Like I've never watched sports growing up. I was never into it, but I follow competitive breakdancing, and I'm a huge fan. I'm going to the World Championships this year.
What?
Not me.
There's a
I'm
World
No,
Championships for breakdancing.
It's Red Bull BC1.
Okay.
They've been doing like the World Championships every year. So there's other like tournaments, but this is like the one that's been going on since I don't know, long to remember. It's 2000s at least, early 2000s. So I don't know. It's something that is an art form for me. I like to express myself. I go to classes at Breaking MIA. It's a studio in Miami.
That's sick, man.
Yeah. The guys there, they are sponsored by Monster, Doug, Zeku, and they train me and all the other teachers there as well. And yeah, it's just a good way to express myself. I like the idea to be able to compete one day, and I like to battle. Because I don't think of myself as someone that is aggressive. I'm a very pacifist, but when it comes to dancing, I would like to see myself winning.
Yeah.
You
cool.
get crunk with it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll throw up a clip or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find one.
No, nigga. I've been outside, I'm just trying to get it. Cause when you only fear God, boy, the sky's the limit. Got me speeding through this life, going 200 a minute. Probably sliding with them packs and something nice that's tinted. And if that little bitch a foreign, that little gnar was in it.
When I think of like the world championship of beatboxing, I think of like a Super Bowl stadium, like 100,000
You keep
people.
saying beatboxing.
No, b-boy dancing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Not
that's what I
beatboxing.
said.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's a factor.
Yeah.
But when I think of that, I think of b-boy dancing, Super Bowl, like 50,000 people watching a little ring of two guys breaking.
It's exactly what it is.
Sick.
That's kind of cool.
But,
man.
and you should watch them. You can see all the videos on YouTube. The energy's there.
Yeah.
Even bigger than like a football stadium.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
Do they play like random music, or is it like
Usually
you know,
it's beats.
Okay.
Especially at that tournament at Rebel BC1, it's usually beats. So, but some of it in other tournaments is like, or they call it jams.
Mm-hmm.
There's old songs like
But it's random, like, or do they have a set? That
freestyle.
Oh, so it's like freestyle rappers going up there.
B-boy
and getting-
is freestyle.
That is sick.
So the person dancing doesn't know the song that's coming on before they start?
Not at all.
Oh,
Wow,
shit.
that's hard.
You hit the beats.
Wow.
So for you to really stick a move or stick something, you gotta know
Wow.
yourself and follow the music, and you can tell the people that are good based on that. People that actually follow the music.
And so how do you practice for something like that? By just like improvising on your own and
Yeah, you kind of just feel it out.
Wow.
Yeah, I kind of like house music too.
That's
with it.
sick.
So was there like what in your life, when did you fall in love with this? Like when did it start?
Well, I think where it really started is my dad is from. I was born in the Bronx.
Okay.
I moved here when I was 3, but my family grew up in the Bronx, where breakdancing originated.
Wow.
In the 80s. And that's when my dad was, in his prime, and he was a kid on the block breakdancing. And I kind of just came in my blood.
Wow.
I saw my dad windmill one time, and then at a wedding, at his family wedding.
Tripping out. I saw my dad windmill. I passed out.
And here's the thing, my dad's not fit. He has a belly and everything. So the fact that he can move like that didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So it sparked something in me. And then I saw the movie You Got Served.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
And
Classic.
then, every kid wants to be that kid.
I wanted to become, that after that. In front of the TV.
And then it wasn't until I got into freshman year and I met a friend who was a break dancer. And I thought it was just like a dance craze. That wasn't a thing. But no, there was a whole community here in Wellington with kids in high school breakdancing. There was a breakdancing club.
There's an underground breakdancing club in these schools?
Yeah, a lot of schools, when there's a group of kids, they'll make breakdancing clubs. There was multiple ones local growing up, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I got into it. And I found out there's a community all over the world. I kid you not. Please show some clips or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
And I've been doing hurdles. We be in that motion, nigga. We be where that work go. Niggas ride waves. We on motherfucking surf those.
the athleticism when it comes to this is insane. It's going to be in the Olympics. It's
You're
already
just
confirmed.
really?
Yeah.
Gravity, Jimmy.
Yeah.
The body's not supposed to do what this shit does.
There's levels to this. There's
So-
big levels to this.
yeah,
Like-
not gravity. That's the level. These kids are flying, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, did you know this when you worked at like Cucina or anything?
Did I like to breakdance?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I did it since I've liked it since middle school. I think I fell off though. Like I stopped practicing. But I've known people that continued when I started, and they're professionals.
Really?
There's one in particular that's going to be at that World Championships
Wow.
that I met when I was in high school, and he was like a high school kid at a jam in Miami.
Damn.
No shit.
Yeah.
What's it mean to be a professional breakdancer? Like, what's that entail?
You're sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a career out of it, and people know you. It's kind of like you're famous.
Yeah.
Wow.
They know your name.
It's definitely a niche, and it's a fire. That's sick.
Yeah, it's
so
fun.
did you ever consider like going up to a manager at Cucina and be like, hey, I think it'd be a hit if I like had a serving dish and I started going into a breakdance real quick?
See, for me, again, I gave up and I was shy, so I would never. But
I've seen Jimmy bust a move at Kachina
but
a couple
when
times.
when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
But I'm getting into it where
Get a
I'm
little
trying
new
to
Sun Kiss Me
compete.
Thursday.
Yeah.
If there's
yeah.
like a party or something and that little dance circle happens, you know that happens?
Oh yeah, I'll go all out.
Yeah?
I've won a lot of dance
Jimbo's in
competitions.
there.
Yeah, those random like when I went to college for the first time and like did orientation, they're like, "Oh, do a dance circle." I won.
Yeah, Jimmy
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. He's being real humble right now.
Yeah,
but that
yeah.
guy can dance.
Yeah, yeah. When
I literally, I was gonna say this dude. You're your balls are so huge. Like
One ball.
Yeah, one ball. It was hard because I was trying to make that expression without like
your ball.
Yeah, huge ball.
I didn't want to offend like the
Big ball energy.
Yeah, one big ball.
It was a good joke, but I didn't want to be
No,
insensitive.
you're good.
Jimmy
You're
Jones,
good.
it was good.
You're good.
Right.
You're good.
I tried to feed him.
Yeah. No,
You
that's
got
not right, bro. That's fucked up.
Nick gets canceled for talking testicles.
Oh, this show goes downhill.
Well, that's fucking sick, man. And I would pull that out at Publix. Like if I do breakdancing, it's a little bit of parkour action in there.
Yeah, its roots is kids putting cardboard on the floor and they're dancing in a circle. Like it's so underground.
That's some tribal shit, man.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, and and when you do have a group of guys and we're like all dancing, and that's the best type of practice, I feel like.
Now, when we talk music in general, like what type of vibes are we going with that?
So I like a lot of old school hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of even like real old school songs like James Brown, stuff like that.
Okay.
Things I guess you can say get funky too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anything that has a good beat.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And now you said you're into house music as well.
Yeah. Like I like the tranciness of it. Like you can do some cool footwork with that.
Are we calling him Jimbo now too?
I mean, I'm a nickname guy. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but I don't really call
Jimbo.
anyone by their normal name,
Yeah.
and Jimmy has always been Jimbo.
I feel you call me Nick.
There's not a lot I can do with Nick.
You're a huge I don't know.
I don't know where that goes,
So,
Now, after you came back and you decided to get back into the work life, what were the steps? What field did you get into? How did you bounce back that way?
So I like to say that I'm a workaholic, and I never really found myself in that. I just liked working, but I didn't really knew what I wanted to do. But I knew after I finished cancer, I had to try something different. I've always worked in restaurants, which I loved. I love every aspect of restaurants because I was a restaurant manager as well. But I like the cooking, I like everything. But I kind of felt as if I were to go back, I wouldn't grow, or I had to at least try something different. So I got a new job. I work for Republic National. I'm a liquor and wine distributor.
Okay. And how did you get that lead?
Through a friend.
Okay.
But ever since I started, I've been loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sales. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why you're good at that, Jimbo.
yeah, you got the right personality.
Come on, I'm buying from you.
Yeah.
You know what weird thing just popped up in my mind when he's talked about cooking in restaurants? As like a manager at Cucina, would you just go back and whip up some fire fettuccine?
not at Cucina's.
No, not so much.
There was a chef there that took everything.
That kitchen was a little too serious, and when the head chef there is one of the owners, so it's like you kind of didn't fuck with the kitchen like that.
Yeah.
But late night, once it was like the club, we'd go back there and make pizzas all the time.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
But never pasta and real
literally-
food. Pizza though, all the time.
At Ale House, no one gave a flying fuck. I would literally go to the back and make my own zingers, drop them in the fryer, and just
At Bradley's, I did that shit a lot. But I worked in the kitchen at Bradley's, so I felt more comfortable in the kitchen.
Okay, yeah.
It makes there was zero rules in my restaurant.
Yeah.
People fucked in the back. It was
Wow.
all over the place. Yeah.
Where did you say you worked?
We're gonna bleep that out.
Fucking in the back of Ale House?
We're just gonna bleep that
What
out.
location?
We're gonna bleep that one out too. Deleting all my pictures. Not that I had a lot. But what was your favorite memory, you guys? Would you say when you worked together? Do you have one that sticks out?
Oh, I know.
Okay, go.
When we made all the cocktails.
Oh,
We
yeah?
had to make the menu.
Yeah, this is
Remember
the
when
best.
you first dehydrated the oranges and the limes, and we made all the...
Yeah, and the
No.
fancy ice cubes. I was
Yes.
really obsessed with ice cubes for a while.
Was that like a fetish?
Yeah.
Ice cube?
Kind of.
We had circle ones.
Yeah.
You had the
square
big
ones.
balls?
I became obsessed with making...
No, that was not that.
We can't do the same joke twice.
No, I'm talking about the spheres.
Yes, and they were perfectly clear. I
Yeah.
became obsessed with making perfectly clear
How do you
ice.
make a perfectly clear ice?
So, if you look in your freezer in your house, the ice is white, it's not see-through,
Yeah.
transparent like glass. There's a method to it where, there's a lot of rumors out there, myths, where, you just have to boil the water. Not true. You need a special device where basically it's like a double...
That was a pretty long process, Pete. How many hours did you put towards the ice ball?
Well, once you have the device, so you're really just filling it with water, and it does all the rest for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
So was
just
that like a
another
beginning of
tool.
the shift thing? Like you get there?
End of shift, usually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we had those
Side
late
work.
nights when, no one was around and we just...
How
And
many?
then since we got these perfectly clear ice cubes, you start putting shit inside.
Yes, that's
it.
what
So
I
I'd have like
yes.
rosemary inside the
Yes.
ice cube.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
That's dope.
It's fucking sweet.
You're a fucking artist.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with ice cubes for
Yeah.
a while. Someone would like accidentally leave the freezer door open or something
Oh
and
my
ruin the whole
God.
batch. Pissed. Ruin like 2 days of work.
Yeah.
I'd be so upset.
Yeah, don't talk to Pete.
That's
Yeah.
flaw.
I was also addicted to bangs at that time. I was probably crushing like 600 milligrams
Yep.
of caffeine a day.
Just doing ice cubes.
I remember when we made all those cocktails, I had to do like a presentation for the whole staff, make all the cocktails, show them the glasses they go in, what ice cube goes with what drink, because we had many different types of ice. And I remember everyone roasted me because I'm like pouring a drink into the glass and I'm like fucking, like, are you okay, dude?
Have you ever seen the Trevor Wallace bang?
No.
I just drank 3 bangs and did a fucking Adderall. Dude, it's so fucking funny. You were a bang guy? I was not I always hated bang to me.
No,
It,
I
it was the
definitely a
hours
big
for
guy.
you. It was the hours.
Yeah, right. I think I was just a caffeine guy at
Oh,
that time.
Yeah.
And working at the restaurant, like you always had a fire espresso machine. So like there was a long time when I was just banging a lot of espressos every day.
Okay.
Mhm.
But there's nothing like mainline in a full 16-ounce bang. You know, it really
That's
gets
true.
you going.
Okay.
Mhm.
So back to the funny story though, through the ice, right? You make these ice cubes. You have these
Yeah.
pretty fucking ice cubes.
Mhm.
Now you guys sat down one day and just started pouring and making drinks.
Is this when I
Yeah.
was talking about like the staff training of making them for the staff?
Yeah, I think it was for like a new menu that we did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And you taste tested everything?
Oh yeah, we went
Oh,
through
that's
everything.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
it was good.
We had a good time at Chemo.
Yeah.
Before shift, a little zip.
Yeah, I sold the hell out of those drinks. Yeah.
This one's delicious. I can vouch for
The
it.
bartenders did not like me.
Yeah.
They cut it off at 10.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now you make these ice balls, right? What if I went in there and was like, I want a vodka soda lime with the big ice ball? Are you giving it to me? Or is it like, an old fashioned you're putting the ice ball?
Yeah, right. It's sort of like not appropriate for all drinks. You know,
Yeah.
vodka soda, you're just getting standard ice. But
But if you had a regular customer,
if they ask specifically for it, yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
can give it to
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Customer's
you'll have
always
the,
right
one
and
guy
shit.
be like, I want a big cube. I'm like, okay,
Right.
I got you.
I
Yeah.
love
And
that.
if they know about the rosemary cubes, then
Oh,
they
yeah.
probably deserve to have it.
What's the best drink Cucine ever made when you guys worked there?
My favorite was the Boulevardier.
I don't remember that one.
It was like, it's basically an old fashioned, but it came in like a big ass wine glass. It's like an old fashioned that I think it has vermouth in it also.
I forget how knowledgeable you are with liquor. I figured that out.
I
Yeah,
like
dude,
the-
I spent a long time behind enemy lines.
I think it was called the El Jefe.
Is it the spicy one?
margarita.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you...
There was a jalapeno in that cube.
Exactly.
Really?
Yep.
That's badass. How
Yeah.
do you get in the center of the cube?
You gotta freeze it in there.
Yeah.
I don't understand this machine. It literally makes no sense.
Sorcery.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time, like, you partied for the first time after you beat cancer?
Oh, I partied hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all my friends just wanted to like take me out and have a good time. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a really good time. We went downtown. Yeah, I can't think of anything special, but yeah.
That's awesome, man. Jimmy, if you were to tell someone, and kind of like on a last note, how to view like life, right, and perspective from where you've been, what would you tell them if they're just going through a rough time in life right now?
I would ask for help. If you are struggling, ask for help. Whether it's professionally, through a friend, find help.
Yeah.
Don't
nice.
go through it alone.
Yeah.
That's good.
I love that.
I do like
and
that a
and
lot.
it's such a parallel to your story. I mean, like, and shout out to the people who supported Jimmy. He's so damn humble. He won't even say he fought and won this battle himself. When you ask him how he won, he's like, people around me, like, you're that humble of a guy. I would be like, I beat that shit. Like, that was me. No, but it shows A, how much you're loved, but B, how much you give love and give support, and I just love that. Ask for help, man. Like, you're not stronger or bigger than the world, and it's gonna knock you down very hard, very hard. And don't be afraid to be like, yo, I'm not in a good spot. To your homeboys, to your homegirls, to your friends, your family. That doesn't mean you're defeated. That means you're fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
When you ask for help, that means you're fighting back to the problem. You're trying to figure it out. That does not mean that you're accepting defeat. So ask for help, guys. Reach out to Jimmy. I'm almost positive at this point knowing him that he is absolutely going to give great advice but have great perspective. And we love you, Jimmy. Jimbo.
Jimbo.
My dog.
Guys, that is the Millennial mentality for this week. It's just, if you don't get something out of this, then I don't know what will. This is Jimbo, as we'll call him. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.
But I've been outside getting money, I'm on my thug again. Tryna stack a little dub, tryna catch a win. And next time I drop a coupe, it's gonna be a twin turbo. Always been a G, but I ain't never been a herb though. Way I'm switching lanes, they should call a nigga swervo.